Yeah.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Dan Huntridge. I'm going to start with a quick announcement from Lynn Garland. She wanted me to share something quick with you all. So something very special will happen this Tuesday, August 13th in Deerfield. Starting at 6 p.m., we will be having a performance by a premier Ukrainian bandura musician and songwriter, Anastasia Wojtak. The bandura is a multi-stringed folk instrument, and be careful there, and is Ukraine's national instrument. The free concert will start at 6 p.m. in the great room of the Deerfield Community Church. It is a family-friendly concert, and goodwill donations for Ukrainian relief efforts will be greatly appreciated. Refreshments will be provided at the end of the performance. Come enjoy a special musical evening this Tuesday, the 13th of August at 6 p.m. So thank you for that. Okay, so good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming this evening. I'll call this special deliberative session meeting to order at 6 p.m. Safety, there's no smoking anywhere in the building. Please take a moment to notice the exits of the building in case of an emergency. This evening's special deliberative session is called to order per New Hampshire RSA 197:3, which allows for a special meeting to address cost items only. Section 3 reads, in the event that the legislative body in an annual meeting amends or rejects the cost items or fact finders reports as submitted pursuant to RSA 273-A, notwithstanding paragraphs 1 and 2, the school board may call one special meeting for the sole purpose of addressing all negotiated cost items without petitioning the Superior Court for authorization. Such special meeting may be authorized only by contingent warrant article inserted on the warrant or official ballot, either by petition or by the governing body. Warrant article number 3 on February 10th, 2024 was approved and thus authorizes this meeting for the sole purpose of the discussion of the paraprofessional contract with Deerfield Community School. Per New Hampshire law, this legal document cannot be amended at this meeting and is only open for discussion. Again, my name is Dan Holdridge, your school district moderator. This special deliberative session acts as a legislative body for reviewing the one warrant article to be voted on September 10th, 2024 ballot. We want everyone to feel welcome, and everyone in attendance will have the same opportunity to speak and respectfully be heard. As your school district moderator, I appreciate your willingness to support our efforts to bring about a fair and smooth meeting this evening. I appreciate your understanding for my efforts to get clarity and productivity through our session. We do ask that all Deerfield residents kindly sign in with the supervisors of the checklist as procedure for deliberative sessions. Since the warrant article being discussed tonight cannot be amended, no voting cards are required. If you can, kindly turn your cell phones off or into vibrate mode, and if you need to make a call, please go outside. Obviously, the exception would be fire and police. We'll begin with introductions of our school district officials and then go over some housekeeping items to ensure an orderly meeting. So our school board, we have our chair, Kendra Cohen, our vice chair, Ellen O'Donnell. We have Missy Perham, Nate Oxnard, and Nancy Shute. And then Superintendent Patty Sherman, Principal Miss Kristen Withy. I don't know if our vice principal's here today.
Not tonight.
Not tonight, okay. And then our school district treasurer, Eric Gross. And then our supervisors, the checklist, Suzanne Steele and Maureen Quinn back there, the lovely folks that greeted you here. And then we'll move on to our purpose, rules, and decorum of today's session. So I'm going to read through this quickly. If you need me to explain anything, I'll do so. But since it's one warrant article, we can dispense with a lot of the additional rules that we typically have at a legislative deliberative session. Again, this is this SB2 special deliberative session for the 2024 Deerfield School District meeting as defined in New Hampshire RSA 652:16F. You will act as a legislative body to discuss the one paraprofessional contract warrant article that will be voted on at the Deerfield Town Hall on September 10th. The article being discussed tonight by law must be placed on the ballot without amendments. Each per RSA 40:13 warrant articles may be amended subject to the following limitations. A is the warrant articles whose wording is prescribed by law, as this is. shall not be amended. Each member who wishes to participate in the meeting should have checked in with the supervisor of the checklist. If you're a registered voter and have not checked in, kindly do so now. If there's any individuals who are not registered voters of Deerfield here this evening, though you are not permitted to vote, by Deerfield tradition, you are permitted to participate in the discussion this evening. Without objection, we'll continue that tradition this evening. The rules are our special meeting is for the transaction of all business other than voting by official ballot. Special session shall consist of explanation, discussion, and debate of each warrant article. Since Deerfield operates via Senate Bill number 2 town meeting, this one article will be on the ballot as printed this evening. The chair will read the one article and then recognize a representative of the warrant article author, which will be our chair, Kendra Cohen, and to speak. In the event you want to share comments related to the warrant article cost only, please stand and approach the microphone following the warrant article's introduction. The chair will recognize members at the microphone in turn. When it's your turn to speak, kindly step up to the microphone and speak directly into it. The microphone is voice activated and your remarks are recorded so the clerk may make an accurate record of this meeting. All remarks must be confined to the merits of the pending question or the question of order or privilege, and all remarks must be addressed to the chair. When recognized, please state your name and address to begin addressing the chair. Each speaker, if not the author of the warrant article who is presenting the article's information, will be allowed 3 minutes to express his or her views. You may speak as many times as you wish, but all members who wish to speak will have a first turn before a second turn. The overriding principle in all cases is fairness. A speaker may address the current pending question, or they may move to close debate, but may not do so in the same turn. That means if a speaker argues for or against the motion, he or she may not then conclude the remarks with, and I move the previous question. We adopted this rule many years ago, and with the support of the assembly, we'll follow it in this meeting. If there's something you wish to accomplish here, but uncertain to how to proceed, please ask. And then finally, the role of the moderator is to fairly organize and regulate the meeting according to the rules agreeable by the legislative body in attendance. Rulings of the moderator are subject to appeal by any member. An appeal must be made immediately following the ruling. A seconder is required, and the ruling and appeal will be explained to the legislative body, and the members will vote to sustain or reverse the ruling. This meeting is being recorded for viewing at a later date to be posted on the school district website. We thank you for being part of today's special school district deliberative session, and we hope to see you all again anytime between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. on September 10th. So put that in your calendar, September 10th, for the state primary and school district warrant article election to be held at the town hall on Church Street. So I'll now introduce the warrant article number 1. And it reads: to the state of New Hampshire, to the inhabitants of the school district in the town of Deerfield, qualified to vote in district affairs. You're hereby notified to meet at the Deerfield Community School in said district on the 7th day of August, 2024 at 6 o'clock in the evening to deliberate upon the warrant articles below. This session shall consist of explanation, discussion, and debate of each warrant article. Warrant articles may be amended subject to the following limitations. A, warrant articles whose wording is prescribed by law shall not be amended. B, articles that are amended shall be placed on the official ballot for a final vote on the main motion as amended. And C, no warrant articles shall be amended to eliminate the subject matter of the article. An amendment that changes the dollar value of an appropriation in a warrant article should not be deemed to violate this provision. Voting on warrant articles will be conducted by official ballot at the second session scheduled for September 10th, 2024 at the Town Hall, 10 Church Street, Deerfield, New Hampshire, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The article reads, number 1, shall the Deerfield School District vote to approve the cost items set forth in the collective bargaining agreement reached between the Deerfield School Board and the Deerfield Educators Association for the 24-25, 25-26, 26-27, and 2027-2028 fiscal years, which calls for the following estimated increases in salaries and benefits at the current staffing level. 24-25 is $70,738. 25-26 is $52,578. 26-27 is $47,208. We have 27-28 is $40,410. And further, to raise and appropriate the sum of $70,738 for the 24-25 fiscal year, such sum representing the additional costs attributable to the increase in salaries and benefits required by the new agreement over those that would be paid at current staffing levels. Majority vote required. The school board recommended 400. The budget committee recommends 650. If passed, the tax impact will be 9 cents per thousand. and that was given under the hands of said Deerfield, the 22nd day of July 2024, and signed by the school district, or the school district board. So with that, I'll introduce our chair, Cohen, who can present this warrant article. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I recognize that many of you might have other things to do on this beautiful August evening, but we really appreciate you being here. This contract represents a restructuring of para compensation. Similar to the last contract, we froze longevity. We froze the longevity and decreased the number of steps to make more monies available to go directly to the hourly wages. This will help get more paras in the door. We had 5 paras resign at the end of the school year, and we're going to be scrambling to get positions filled before school starts in just a few weeks. As of late this afternoon, we still have 3 open positions, so this is more important than ever. This past school year, we had 3 paras in step 1, 2 paras in step 2, 4 paras in step 3. We didn't have any paras in steps 4 through 6. The vast majority of our paras, 13.8, are in step 7, which is the highest step. To me, this suggests we have a gap in retaining mid-level paras. It also suggests to me that while it's wonderful to have so many experienced and very dedicated paras, there aren't as many currently in the pipeline. So any retirement or resignation from that very loyal group is very impactful to the schools. As many of you know, if we don't have enough paras to cover services outlined in students' IEPs, we will have to consider contracting services and or out-of-district placements, the costs of which are unknown and would likely be much higher. Overall, this new contract represents a 25% decrease in the first year estimated total cost from what was presented and voted on in March. The cost on the ballot in March for the first year was $94,853. The new contract has an estimated first year cost of $70,738, a reduction of $24,000 and 25%. The tax impact is also reduced by 33%. It was 12 cents per thousand in March, and the new estimated tax impact is 9 cents per thousand. In my view, this contract represents the board and the paras' joint priority in attracting new staff and retaining the dedicated paras that we heavily rely on. The wage table presented represents a fairer wage for the entire slate of paras and is supported by the Para Association, all 5 school board members, and the majority of the Municipal Budget Committee. Thank you for your time tonight, and if you have any questions or comments, we invite you to say them now.
Thank you. Okay, so now we open up the floor to if anyone in the community would like to speak regarding the cost of the paraprofessional contract only. That's what is open for discussion tonight. Would anyone like to come to the microphone to speak, please? And when you start, just please kindly state your name and your address, please.
Kathy Berry, Lakes Hill Road. I'd like to first say thank you for hearing us today. I've been a para here at DCS for 19 years. I have a lot to say, but I'll start by explaining just a small part of our job description. So a lot of people don't know exactly what we do. Oh, is that better?
Yeah, you can lower it if you need. It's helpful, but yeah, just want to make sure everyone can hear you. Thank you.
A day in the life of a para is very different depending on what grade you're in. At the middle school level, a para wears many different hats daily. We do lunch and recess duties. We're advisors and mentors. We work in small and large groups. We often sub when there's no substitutes available. We help plan and run WIN advisory and magnet groups, which are advisory groups. We proctor tests in small group settings. We're very resourceful in finding spaces to work quietly with kids when there's no space available. We make modifications, redirect, we give mini lessons, we help with homework during lunch and recess. Some paras, including myself, buy supplies and snacks for students who come to school without those necessities to help them get through the day. We do more than just academics. We form relationships and listen and try to make learning fun. I think it's important that voters know that about 80% of Deerfield paras live in Deerfield and are feeling all the same tax increases. The other 20% live in surrounding towns that are also seeing tax increases. We've had applicants decline the position offering after hearing what we made. People can't afford to work here because our rates are outdated. Right now, we start at $21 an hour, which is $40.55 more than what I'm making now after being here for 19 years. It's time to bring Deerfield paras up to what surrounding towns are making. Most Deerfield residents will see an increase of less than $50 a year. It's also important for voters to know that insurance premiums have increased. So without a new contract, paras will actually be taking home less money each pay period for the upcoming school year than we did last year. An example of this, it would be a para currently on a 2-person plan would take home $57 less per month than they did last year. And I'd also like to point out that 62% of our paras are certified through the state of New Hampshire, which is amazing. That means we either have college degrees or equivalencies. So we have a great team here, and let's hope that everybody votes yes, and so we can keep everybody and bring new people on. Thank you.
Other folks that'd like to visit tonight? Yes. Good evening.
Good evening. Kathy Poole, Maple Ave.
Mhm.
I have lived in Deerfield for over 20 years. For the past 16 years, I have worked as a para at our school. Imagine how I felt when back in June, I found a job posting for a transfer station attendant, and that position had a starting pay that is $2 more an hour than what I am currently making after 16 years of hard work. I am angry, upset, and frustrated. I do not understand how my neighbors, how my community can be willing to pay more to have their trash taken care of than their own children. It makes no sense. At the current pay being offered, we are not able to hire the necessary staff needed to best serve the students' current needs. I was told just recently a young lady from town applied for a para position here and at other neighboring towns. When she was offered the position, she declined. She chose a para position out of town for more money. It's also hard on the staff morale to not feel supported at work. Every day, we are asked to come to work with a positive attitude, a smile on our face, and the upbeat energy needed to interact positively with students. When you are underpaid and in a town that you feel devalues your worth, it is hard to do that. If this contract fails, not only will we continue to struggle to fill open positions, but we risk losing paras to other communities. And I know Kathy touched on it as well, but if this doesn't pass with the increase in premiums, a lot of us will be bringing home even less money than we did last year. I am asking for the community's help in passing this contract. We are not asking for much. Please, please show us that you do care about the community and its youngest members. Thank you.
Thank you. Others like to visit? Please.
Okay, hi, I'm Brittany Nichols, and I live on Mountain Road in Deerfield. And I am here representing the para education. And first I'd like to start off with, I was a para here at DCS for nearly 10 years. I ended up leaving last year, obviously, for more money in another district. I still coach volleyball, which I love, because I love the sport, it's big part here. I'd like the community to know that it's very hard to make a living in Deerfield and live in Deerfield on the current salary offered. I am encouraging voters to vote yes for the para contract. There is a para shortage and paras are needed to benefit all kids, not only special education kids. Paras play such an important role in the education and well-being of all kids. We advocate for those who are unable to and promote inclusion and independence. We also help with emotional and social support. This job is very rewarding, watching students grow and strive to their best abilities and potential. I miss my students and I miss my DCS family. It was a very difficult decision for me to leave, but financially, I had to. I know the recent tax bills are hitting everyone hard right now, but when you really look at the numbers, for the average home value around $400,000 in Deerfield, will only increase your amount by $36 a year. To me, it's a small price to pay for our students to have the best education possible with needed support. Thank you for listening, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak in this matter today. Thank you.
Thank you. Others? There's nothing to speak, please. Good again.
Good evening. I'm Cynthia Maimoni. I live on Swamp Road. I earned my Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education at Plymouth State College, and I taught for 3 years in Rochester. And then I became a substitute for 3 years here. Before that, I was in Chichester for 3 years as a para. So I have a lot of experience in different places with children. I mainly work in the lower grades here at DCS, and I, like many paras, come in early to prepare for the day. There are many of us meet our students at the car or at the bus. We make sure that they arrive safely at their room, and some of us don't lose sight of our children all day until we hand them back to their parents, unless they are with another teacher. We assist when needed, helping students prepare for the day. Many of us go to all of the integrated arts, and sometimes we help make the integrated arts more successful for our children. Many of us have recess duty and lunch duty. We help open containers, help with winter gear. Some of us need to be with our students at lunch and recess every day. Some of us help with toileting and the occasional stomach issues, bloody noses, scraped knees, all of that. We also redirect behavior to help keep students safe on the stairs and in the halls. We clean classrooms and sub when needed, make copies, prepare and adapt lessons to reinforce skills that are learned. We make games and flashcards to assist in learning about a topic. We make bulletin boards, help out at concerts and talent shows, and make field trips accessible to some students who might not be able to go if we were not with them. We help turn a difficult day into a positive day, and we make learning fun. In my teaching position, I would like to speak on class size. I had 22 students in my class. We had no paras, no support at all. It was not easy. I know the value of smaller classes like we have in Deerfield for all students. Smaller classes make for better learning for all students. No child should feel lost at school. I also feel strongly about everyone deserving a living wage with benefits. There are good people who want to work here but cannot afford to. We all want our children to have good jobs with benefits. Someday, some of our students may come back as paras. If our salaries are not competitive, they won't come and they won't stay, and we will miss out. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else like to visit this evening? Please.
This is Patrice Killam and One Ridge Road. Is it possible to define the starting wage for the paras on these steps? For me, I was 20 years here, retired 2 years ago, and I have to say that I made at my job what I made at my starting job in 1979, 80, I think it's 80. As a college person working in the parts department in 1980, which was a long time ago, and 40 years ago. That's what I retired from after 20 years here. So it's kind of shameful in a way. People need to think about that. And I also would like to detail that if for public reference, the paras are paid only by the hour under contract. They are not paid for vacations, not paid for summer. That's a misunderstanding within our town sometimes that I think is not, I've gotten from people. And that might clarify that they think they're being paid for all this time off. But they are not. Thank you.
Sure. Do you want to?
Sure. So if you haven't taken a look at the contract, it's posted on the DCS website, or the SAU website, sorry, the town website. And I would encourage you to look at the whole thing, but there is a wage schedule as the last page. So just to give you a little bit of a sense, for step one this year, so a new para coming in would make $13.14 an hour. The new contract for a brand new para, if this were approved, would make $17.68 an hour. So a top step para last year would make $16.45 an hour. If this were passed, a top step para would make $19.95 per hour.
Okay, others?
Suzanne Steele, Hardy Road. Wow. My question was going to be based on the front, that why are the numbers going down in the ensuing years? Because we know nothing really goes down in ensuing years. And my mother was a teacher. I was brought up in the school system. She worked with IEPs, McDonald's and all the rest of the fast foods are paying a lot more than this. So I would love some feedback on that. Thank you.
So on the Warrant article, you mean like why it goes down each year?
Yes.
So the wages do go up every year, which is great, and everyone increases a step for each year. I think it probably is less because at some point the paras sort of catch up, and it's less of a jump year to year. This is the increase. This is not the total cost of the para salaries, it's the increase. So if you increase, the most year one, then you're doing smaller increases after that, if that makes sense. I don't know if you can explain it better. Yes.
So the wage scale has 5 steps. So after 5 years, you're at the top, making the max. So you're only getting the increase to that top step. When you first start, you're going to move to step 2, which is the increase, and that wage at that step went up as well. So it's a little bit more than once you hit the top. And we have a lot of paras that are going to be 5 years of experience and won't get as much of an increase these subsequent years.
But the wage scale does go up.
Yeah.
So they will earn more every year that they're here until the top step.
Thank you. Others to visit this again? Good evening.
Tom Dillon, Haynes Road.
Thanks, Tom.
I'm going to try to cheat and throw 2 questions in here. Could you tell me how many paras the school employs? And could you speak to what the benefits package for a para costs us?
Sure. Who would like to field that?
What a benefits package costs. Is that the most- 23?
Is that how many? So there are a few open positions currently. So I think we employ 22 currently, and we still need to fill 3. The benefits cost is a good question. I can get my budget book. Hold on. I knew I brought this for a reason. All right. I don't know if it's broken down though.
It's not.
Okay. Never mind. No.
The best place to look is the contract online because it outlines the benefits that they receive step by step. It's
So we don't have it broken out by staff member or the amount for each of the benefits. That's not increasing in this, and we do pay a portion of their health insurance plan, and then they pay the majority of a portion of it. And they get things like sick leave and 3 personal days, but that's really the extent of the benefits.
But there's a cost to that in the budget. Do we have any idea what that is for them as a group?
I don't have that with me. If you'd like to email me or write down your email, I'm happy to follow up with you on that. But it's not broken out that way in the budget.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The budget has the total health insurance for all of our employees, but it's not broken out specifically for the paras.
Other comments this evening for this warrant article? Yes, please.
Just before, Nancy Shue, just before this meeting, we heard that one person who thought was going to fill one of those 3 positions declined and accepted a position in another town for $10 more an hour. We found that out just this afternoon.
Any other comments regarding this evening, this warrant article regarding the contract for warrant article 1? Going once, going twice. Okay, so that will conclude. We'll conclude tonight's special deliberative session. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. Is there a second? All in favor? Any opposed? We are adjourned. Have a good rest of your summer, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. We're having a regular school board meeting after this. If anyone would like to stay, you're welcome. You do not have to.
I absolutely will.
Amazing. 30 minutes, I said.
Oh, is she? Oh, huge. Oh, yeah. Couldn't you just, stay and.
Thank you.
Great to
Nice
see
to meet you too.
Don't they look so good? I know.
You were recording.
No.
Still recording. Perfect. Thank you. I thought so. You can pause it if you want. Or you want to just leave it so make sure nothing happens. Yeah. Just in case you want I'm your girl. I'll be there.
It's so much fun. It's very exciting right now. No, I know. Yeah, yeah. So much. She's still there. We gave you set aside. It's just you being told, we're done. You can spend time.
I'll ask Brian if he heard that. Oh, he's not on here. He was on here. I just did. That's muted.
School board meeting of, I was gonna read August, but 6:37. If you could join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the first item on the agenda is the minutes. We have quite a few minutes to review, so we'll take them one at a time. We'll start with June 5th. If anyone wants to make a motion.
No. Just again, a couple of typos.
So the procedural steps, we need to make a motion to approve it, then we get a second, and then we can talk about it, and then either we vote to approve or not.
Okay, anything to discuss?
Some typos again. Yeah, my last name, under the bus stop appeal, Kelly Goldie, is it Kelly with 2 L's? Again, my last name, and I believe we changed that for next month, the next meeting. Also, the motion was made by Ellen O'Donnell, seconded by Nancy Karen to move to, I think that's supposed to say 3 kindergartens. And it says, we're missing an E on that one. Again, Karen. That's it.
Okay. Any other discussion? Or any other changes? Okay, so we will make a motion to approve with those typos. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, one abstention. Nate. All right, June 19th.
Make a motion to
Approved.
Second.
Bruce. All right, any discussion?
Yes, please. On the second page for buses, spelling buses B-U-S-E-S is appropriate, spelling buses B-U-S-S-E-S is appropriate, but let's have some consistency.
Okay.
Using Tracy.
More prominence between us.
Yeah. And on the last page, next scheduled date, the school board meeting, August 6th, 2024, it should say August 7th.
Okay, any other discussion? All right, all in favor of approving the minutes with those additions?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, 5-0. And July 2nd.
Vote approved.
Second. Nate and Ellen, any discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving July 2nd minutes as written? Aye. Any opposed? And any abstentions? One abstention. All right, we will move on to public comments. Okay, no public comments, so then we will go to agenda review. I don't think I have anything to add.
And we need to add,
Sorry.
we need to add one consent, so it will be 2 total. We did get the bus routes today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to add, I don't know if this is appropriate, but I'd like to add hopefully that we need to look into some sort of policy posture for the entire Deerfield student body to be able to know that they can access me on sports and extracurricular activities with the high schools and the schools, whether they're homeschooled or private school. There's no clear way for them, the parents of these children who are not in DCS, to know how to do that. So we need to make some type of a policy. I don't know.
We can add that as a discussion to a following meeting, if that works.
Yep.
And we'll see what we have in the meantime. I don't know if there's something in the handbook or somewhere else, but we'll look into that. Thank you for the suggestion. Okay. Review of correspondence. There was no correspondence to the entirety of the board, I believe. Okay, consent agenda, 2 items.
Yes. Excuse me, you have a child rearing leave that, if you wish to discuss, we would have to do that in non-public session. If there's no discussion, you can, go ahead and approve that now.
So that's in the packet.
Well, I'm happy to wait till the public.
Okay. We'll move to back to non-public.
Kelly was, can we move on?
Yes.
Kelly was able to get us some bus routes this afternoon, and we made copies. She did indicate that she still felt like she was missing some information and waiting to hear from some more families, and especially at the high school, some students were missing when she got the list, and she feels like there's going to be changes, but we thought it would be a good idea to get them preliminarily approved so we could post them and give families some idea of what they were gonna look like. And then if there are edits and changes, we can bring those to the next meeting.
Is it more annoying for families to get edited bus routes, Principal Lily? Or do you think they prefer having a preliminary bus route?
Because we do one more meeting in 2 weeks before school starts. Is that too late? Do people not like?
I don't think so. I don't typically send the routes out until right before school starting.
My preference would be, I think, to not put something, we think there's gonna be some significant differences.
You do think so?
She didn't say significant.
Okay.
The board can absolutely wait. The board backed up the timeline because we were having so many issues and missing buses and drivers, and so they did back it up to the first August meeting, but if you think families are comfortable waiting and that's what you want to do, we can tell her, please finalize them and give them to us at the next meeting and we'll approve them then. It's up to the board. What do you want to do?
I don't know, have we ever gotten a lot of feedback? I mean, you know, if they're shooting.
It's more, especially at the beginning of the year, a lot of feedback of my stop isn't on there. We did send out a survey asking families for what their transportation needs would be. Per Dale Transportation needed that information, so we sent something out.
I guess it would be a benefit to send it out, and if people aren't on there,
Mhm.
then they would know,
Mhm.
and then they could adjust them.
We can put draft on it.
Okay, I think that's fine.
I think it would be, yeah, draft. I mean, yes. And then everybody doesn't get all upset because if they see a bus route and they're not on there, they're like, oh my God,
Right.
it's never gonna know.
Okay.
So it'd be better.
Do you want to pass that?
I think it's in there.
Oh.
I think, are there copies of the bus routes in there?
I handed, yeah, there's one of the packets. One of the extra packets is yours. So that enrollment sheet, Kendra, then there's a packet. Yeah.
It looks like the same number of buses we ended with last year. No significant changes from last spring.
Yeah, we did have the problem at the end of the year. Is this the same that we had? Didn't we have a change at the end?
Yeah,
There was
we
an
had to
issue.
take for a high school
There was an
bus.
issue, yeah, but I think this is back to,
Oh, just that issue.
I think so. It was, high school is the area that probably is gonna have the most change, she's thinking.
Okay.
Yeah, this is here. She got the, list of names from the registrar, but she felt like there were enough names missing that had taken the bus previously that she felt like she didn't have all the information she needed.
And she was aware of the code early change.
Yes.
She knows that.
Looks like there's 6 buses.
If we can we put draft on them?
Yeah, I'm happy to.
Okay. I think that would help clear some confusion. I will make a motion to approve the bus routes.
Second.
Any discussion?
And you want me to draft on this one?
Yeah, I wouldn't want people to think, be wedded to their 7:14 pickup and then have it be changed. And then have bad feelings about that. So I think draft is good. Okay. All in favor of approving the bus routes as draft?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Is that both things? Yes. Yes. Okay. Media business, facilities updates. I see Chris in the back there. Hi, Chris.
How are we?
Good, how are you? How's your summer?
Summer's been busy.
Yeah, I've heard.
So I've been here 4 years, just a little over 4 years, and I keep saying this the last 3 years. But I'm gonna start tonight out with the following. These are the 18 people that came and worked for me this year. Without them, the school wouldn't look the way it does. Every year we just keep improving on how we work in here. So 18 kids from high school, 14, 15, 16-year-olds coming in to work for me during the summer on a very tight schedule, 8 weeks, says a lot for these kids. So I'd like to just read their names off real quick. Most of them are former middle school students, now gone on to. There's only 3 or 4 that are not, but Forrest Sawyer, Adam Slip, Noah Gendron, Finn Stimmel, George Penault, Riley Bailey, Mason Alder, Arthur Scrogg, Josh Poe, Connor Wilson, Jack Liddy, Cynthia Mamoni, who's also a para here. She's like the Energizer Bunny, so I wouldn't get a lot of the stuff done without Cynthia. Anthony McInnes, Lillian McInnes, Cameron DuBois, Eli Smith, Cora Cooney, and Kara Duggan. Biggest group I've ever had, 18 kids. Says a lot, you know.
That's
Hoping they all return this year. Quick update on the major projects. Stack update, we're getting close, All the equipment is being shipped, we should have it, and it should be fully installed, ready for inspection before or at school starts. There's really no issues. If it had to run late, we're not using the heat anyways. We have our own hot water boiler, so it's independent from everything else. Exhaust fans have been installed, 7 new fans. You can actually, from the first floor, hear the draft up out of the hallways and the bathrooms, so bonus there. Fire alarm update, we're about 90% of demo. RB Lewis is doing the final calculations on the chief's request for smoke detectors in the gym. And then we have another couple small items that we need to do, but, so we're getting close, Once we do the calculations need to be submitted to the town fire chief, just so he can look over and make sure everything's correct. We do not have to go to the state for this because it's beyond what the state requested. Solar panels, solar paperwork has been submitted for the REAP grant. We're just waiting, Barrington Power is just waiting to confirm that and make sure that they're not requesting any other additional information. PFAS testing, we started a program with the state where they came in under their dime, to test for PFAS. So that'll be a couple more weeks before I hear back anything from them. Yes.
That's in our drinking water?
Yes, yep, from our drinking water from our wells. Yep, they're doing random tests throughout the state of New Hampshire. Citywide contract, who is the cleaning company that does our night work. They submitted another bid for this year. They've held their price for the last 2 years at $240 a night. I'd like approval from the school board tonight to move forward with signing that contract and securing them for this school year.
At the same price as last year?
Mhm.
Is that part covered in the budget?
We fall a little short on the budget because they're a little more expensive than if we had hourly employees. But our hourly employee rate for nighttime custodians is $14 an hour. When I was interviewing last time I was interviewing someone for that position, they were making $18 or $19 or $20 at other schools for nighttime work, so.
I think we're good because we fall a little bit short, but our benefit lines have money in them because we'd have to pay taxes and all that on employees.
And by my calculations, I should have, between 10 and 13,000 remaining in my summertime budget. That can be put towards that, so it should actually be covered.
Okay, good.
So, yep.
Thank you.
And this is not something where this would need to go out to bid just because of a significant change in the contract.
It should, but honestly, I just didn't have time. I mean, I'm
Well,
sorry.
I mean, per our policies that we're required to do this.
You can waive the policy to keep extend the contract with the current company you have, unless Chris felt like there was an issue or the board felt like there was reason to go out.
And we're generally satisfied with the work.
They're very
they're doing.
responsive to any questions or any concerns that I've had, so yes.
And they know the building, yeah.
Yeah, they know the building.
I will make a motion to renew the citywide contract for another year. Is it the school year or?
Yeah, just for this 24-25.
Okay. Okay, any discussion?
How many meetings are there?
There are 3. They come in roughly, their schedule is much more flexible. They come in around 6 o'clock and leave 6 p.m. and leave around 2 a.m.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor of renewing the citywide contract for the next school year? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Anything else?
No, just, once again, the kids have done a great job here. I mean, I've created a sandbox out there. I've had them replace floor tile, baseboard. I mean, it's just amazing what these kids have done.